Yuki Izumi. He's a high schooler who's like super nerdy, kind of plain, and honestly a little useless. And his luck? It's terrible. Just cursed. Get this. He's about to leave for school. His mom even tells him, be careful, and literally seconds after he steps outside, he trips on a rock right in front of his house. I'm telling you, this guy is a total NPC. He probably needs a tutorial just to walk straight. And it doesn't stop. On the way to school, he gets blasted by exhaust fumes, a crow poops on him, and he even slips on the sidewalk. It's just one thing after another. But, and this is the best part, under all that bad luck, Izumi is secretly the luckiest guy ever. Why? Because he has a girlfriend named Miyako, and she's amazing. She's beautiful, super caring, and she always protects him. Like, you gotta ask, is that his girlfriend or his personal bodyguard? The plot armor is just so thick with this one. Every single morning, she waits for him so they can walk to school together. She never complains, even when Izumi is late. And literally any time his bad luck is about to strike, Miyako is right there to shield him. It makes Izumi think, man, my girlfriend isn't just beautiful, but also incredibly cool. So, they finally get to the school gate. Izumi's totally stressing, hoping they're in the same class again. But Miyako, she's super chill about it. She's just like, hey, even if we're in different classes, I'll just come visit you a lot. They go check the notice board, and what do you know? They're in the same class. Izumi's ecstatic. He's so happy his wish came true. But then, of course, it's time for class introductions. Izumi gets up, and he's so nervous his words just completely break. He sounds like a dial-up modem trying to connect. I mean, yikes. Later, during break time, his bad luck tries to strike again. A random eraser comes flying right at his face, but Miyako, with those lightning-fast reflexes, just swoops in and protects him. Seeing this, their classmates are like, dude, Izumi, you really gotta be more careful. They basically tell him that if he keeps this up, he's just gonna be a burden to Miyako. They were trying to be nice, but they were pretty much saying, please try not to be a total liability. Oh, and Miyako did not like that. You can tell she's a little angry, so after cleaning the chalk dust from her hair, she just grabs Izumi, pulls him out of the classroom, and shoots this ice-cold glare at everyone as they leave. After school, Izumi's friend Inuzuka invites him to hang out. Miyako and her friends were also planning to go out, so one of them, Kyo, suggests they all just go together. Their big plan? A bowling alley. Now, Miyako's only played like 2 or 3 times, and she's actually looking forward to it. But Kyo and Yui tell her to pretend to be a beginner. You know, that whole helpless girls are cuter thing. So the game starts, and Inuzuka and the guys are all bummed out because their scores suck. But Izumi? He's doing even worse thanks to his bad luck. No matter how hard this poor guy tries, his bowling ball just swerves away like it's scared of the pins. At first, Miyako tries to follow her friend's advice and play like she's never bowled before. But then Izumi cheers her on, and oops, she accidentally gets serious. And by serious, I mean she scores a perfect game, just completely blowing everyone's minds with her skill. On the way home, Izumi's feeling kind of down about always being protected. He tells her he feels pathetic. But Miyako just insists that all he needs to do is stay by her side. She says it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks because she will always protect him. Fast forward to the school sports tournament. The girls in their class are playing volleyball and basketball, while the boys are all playing soccer. Miyako finds Izumi to check their schedules, and yup, the volleyball and soccer matches are at the exact same time. This means they won't really get to support each other. Still, Izumi tells her he'll be cheering for her, which makes Miyako blush like crazy. A few minutes later, Izumi's soccer match starts, and the game barely begins before Izumi is already making Miyako worry. He just keeps falling over for no reason, even when he's not doing anything. He's like a character lagging in real life. Then, a ball comes flying right at him. Miyako tries to yell at him to dodge, but Izumi doesn't even notice, and it hits him square in the head. At this point, Miyako is supposed to be getting ready for her own volleyball match, but forget that. She takes him straight to the nurse's office. While she's stroking his face, she tells him he really makes her worry and asks him to just stay by her side as much as possible. As she's about to leave, Izumi tells her that he'll protect her too. And I mean, that's just so ridiculous. Miyako can't help but tease him about it. So Miyako gets to the volleyball court. This match looks tough. They're up against Kamiya, the best player in the whole volleyball club. Meanwhile, the boys' soccer game just ended, and even with Izumi playing in extra time, their team still lost, and Izumi got another minor injury. Since the volleyball match is still going, he and Inuzaka go to watch. Miyako's been making some brilliant blocks, but the other team is just too good. Her team is trailing by a lot. But right then, Izumi yells out and cheers for her from the sidelines. And I guess hearing her boyfriend's squeaky, mediocre voice is all it takes, because Miyako just flips a switch and goes into full-on Super Saiyan mode. It doesn't take long for her to completely turn the game around. Thanks to their teamwork, Miyako's team pulls off the win, and all the students are just stunned. Izumi is super proud and immediately runs over, grabs her hand, and tells her she was amazing, and that she's his role model. After the tournament, Miyako and Kyo are super popular. All these girls are coming up asking for photos. This goes on the next day too. Miyako is just surrounded by fans. Izumi can't even get close to her. Suddenly he's just a background character in his own love story. He ends up walking home alone, but just as he's about to fall down a flight of stairs, because of course he is, Miyako suddenly shows up out of nowhere to save him. Even though she's famous now, she still just wants to spend time with him and asks him to walk home with her. Okay, so the next day, Izumi gets movie tickets from Inuzaka and plans to ask Miyako out. But the day before the date, he remembers all the, incidents that have happened every other time they went out. So, to avoid his bad luck ruining everything, he starts packing. His bag is packed like he's preparing for a zombie apocalypse, not a movie date. He packs so much stuff, he can barely even carry the bag. Meanwhile, Miyako is also busy preparing, but she's just struggling to pick the perfect outfit. She's being so loud about it that her brother actually has to come in and tell her to quiet down. Date morning. And of course, Izumi's bad luck starts early. His bag strap breaks, and he has to help a lost kid. But it's all good, because he intentionally left super early just in case. Soon, he meets up with Miyako, and when he sees her, he's just speechless. She looks that good. This is their first time watching a movie together, and Izumi decided to let Miyako pick. So what does she choose? A horror film that's trending. Great choice. It gives this scaredy cat a perfect reason to be used as an armrest. The movie terrifies Izumi the entire time, but luckily for him, Miyako holds his hand, which makes him feel a lot calmer. After the movie, Izumi invites Miyako to get pancakes. He saved up his allowance and is planning to treat her. But when he goes to pay, he realizes his wallet is missing. As expected, his level of carelessness is legendary. So they have to cancel the pancakes, but just then they happen to run into Izumi's parents on the street. After hearing what happened, his dad just suggests they all eat at their place. Miyako happily accepts. During dinner, Miyako loves the food. She tells Izumi's mom it's amazing, as good as a restaurant's. His mom is so happy, she tells Miyako to come over all the time. After eating, Miyako helps Izumi's mom with the dishes, while Izumi himself just falls asleep, too full. While they're washing dishes, Izumi's mom starts talking about his childhood. She says back in middle school, he'd come home with new injuries every single day. It made her so worried she could barely let him go out. So his mom tells Miyako she hopes she'll stay by Izumi's side, even though his bad luck makes things tough. But Miyako just gently replies that she doesn't mind. In her opinion, his bad luck is exactly what makes him such a kind person. And because of that, Miyako reassures his mom not to worry, promising that she will always protect Izumi. Okay, summer break. The crew gathers on the school roof to make plans. Kyo suggests going to the beach, and Miyako is all for it. But Izumi, not so much. Ever since he was a kid, his skin gets torched by the sun. He'd just have to sit in the shade while everyone else played. Realizing this, Inuzuka suggests going to the river instead. It'd be cooler than the beach, so Izumi could actually have fun. Yui, on the other hand, has a different idea. She just wants to laze around at someone's house with the AC blasting. So, taking advantage of their free time, Kyo plans a shopping trip for supplies. Since Izumi won't be swimming, Miyako wasn't gonna buy a swimsuit. But then she sees Izumi looking at a swimsuit poster, and she immediately changes her mind. At the swimsuit section, she runs into Kyo, and of course she gets caught red-handed holding a pretty revealing swimsuit. Miyako gets all flustered and makes an excuse, saying she was just looking because Izumi seemed interested in the poster. Kyo just smiles because she knows all about Miyako's competitive side and how much she hates to lose. See, when Kyo first met Miyako, she just thought she was super cute and really wanted to be a friend. But it felt kind of awkward being friends with someone that perfect. But one day, they were playing basketball and Kyo discovered that Miyako is an insane athlete. Despite seeming all gentle, she's super competitive. This really impressed Kyo and they ended up becoming best friends. Anyway, after buying their swimsuits, they meet back up with Izumi. When he asks what they bought, Miyako gets so flustered because she doesn't want him to know. First day of exams, and yep, Izumi's luck strikes again. All of his pencils and pens break in the middle of the test. He loses a ton of time just trying to find replacements. He's feeling pretty discouraged. That evening, Miyako calls him just to check on him and hear his voice. They start talking about the stars, and Izumi reveals he loves constellations. But every time his dad tried to take him to see them, it would always rain, so he'd never seen them clearly. Hearing this, Miyako promises she'll take him somewhere with a clear, starry sky. This makes Izumi so happy. So, the river trip happens. When they get there, Inuzuka is literally moved to tears because the weather is sunny even with Izumi there. Usually, Izumi's presence is a guarantee for a thunderstorm, probably with a side of meteor shower. They get ready for the barbecue. When Izumi starts cutting veggies, everyone's worried he's going to chop a finger off. But surprise, he's actually really skilled because he helps his mom cook a lot. In the middle of all this, Miyako secretly prepares a special dish just for Izumi. It looks beautiful. Izumi's thinking, wow, my girlfriend is gorgeous and a great cook. But then he tries it, and it is awful. Looks beautiful, but tastes like it came straight from the depths of hell. But, to be a good boyfriend, he forces himself to eat every last bite. Miyako promises she'll make him a better meal one day. So as the others are getting ready to swim, Izumi and Miyako are just sitting by the river. But when Miyako goes to join the others, Izumi suddenly sees a small child being swept away by the current. Without even thinking, he jumps in to help. His hero complex just activates, despite his main skill being tripping over things. He manages to calm the kid down and starts bringing him to safety. But, of course, as he's trying to get out, his leg cramps up and he can't swim. He starts to drown. Miyako sees this, sprints, and dives right in to save him. Thanks to her, Izumi's okay, but she scolds him for not calling for her help. The kid's mom is apologizing over and over, and her son thanks him with a kiss on the cheek. And even though it's just a little kid, the act made Miyako jealous. After all that drama, they actually go swimming. When they're done, they hit up a market to buy some clothes and food. While they're getting ice cream, Miyako offers Izumi a bite of hers. He's shy at first, but he takes it. Then just as Miyako was about to try his ice cream, Inuzuka just swoops in and steals it. That afternoon, they head home. On the train, Yui and the other friends slowly start to fall asleep. As Izumi falls asleep, Miyako quietly shifts her position so he can lean on her. So after the river trip, Izumi's skin is all irritated from the sun. But when he hears about a fireworks show, he ignores the pain and immediately asks Miyako to go with him. This is Miyako's first time ever seeing fireworks, and she's so excited she has trouble putting on her yukata. Luckily, her brother helps her out. Meanwhile, Izumi is trying to outsmart his bad luck. He's packing back up everything. He even brings a spare wallet. Soon, Miyako arrives at their meeting spot, and the yukata, it just looks perfect on her. Izumi is so flustered he can't even find the words to compliment her. They start visiting the stalls at the festival. When Izumi buys some sweets, Miyako reveals she never used to like sweets very much. But recently, she has started to enjoy them because she was used to seeing Izumi eat them. Next, they try a shooting gallery. Izumi tries so hard to win a stuffed animal as a prize for Miyako, but in the end, Miyako wins one and gives the prize to him instead. A total role reversal, with the girlfriend winning a prize for her boyfriend. I mean, come on, Izumi. Where's your pride? A little later, they run into Inuzuka and two other friends. Taking the opportunity, Inuzuka challenged them to a goldfish scooping contest. Miyako got so into the game that she forgot her main reason for being there. Kyo, realizing time was running out, quickly took over for Miyako so she could go with Izumi. See, there's a special place Izumi wanted to visit with Miyako, but as they were about to leave, the strap on Miyako's sandal suddenly broke. They had to fix it first. After the sandal was fixed, Miyako could walk again. but soon her foot started to hurt from a blister. Seeing her condition, Izumi decided not to take Miyako to the secret spot his father had recommended. But because Miyako was so enthusiastic, Izumi finally decided to just carry her there. Being carried like that made Miyako feel embarrassed and also sorry for Izumi, since he had to climb stairs while carrying her. Despite that, Izumi insisted because he wanted to see Miyako happy and smiling, sincerely. After a long walk, they finally arrived at the secret spot, a shrine on a hill that was rarely visited by people. The shrine's quiet atmosphere made it the perfect place to watch the fireworks. Izumi revealed that he had actually wanted to ask Miyako to watch the fireworks with him last year, but at that time, he didn't have the courage because they were still just friends. Hearing this, Miyako admitted that she had been waiting for that invitation too, but she didn't mind anymore because this year's fireworks were so beautiful. Summer breaks over and the students began a new semester. Without much time to relax, they were immediately busy with preparations for the school festival. Izumi was in charge of preparing costumes, while Miyako was on decoration duty. On the first day of the festival, each student drew a number to determine their partner for a specific activity. When they got to their class, he and his friends opened an animal cafe. Izumi wore a lion costume, while Miyako wore a rabbit costume. When they saw each other, they just stared, but the atmosphere quickly lightened up as customers started to arrive. The animal cafe became incredibly crowded, with many customers charmed by Miyako's appearance. Izumi was overwhelmed while delivering orders. He accidentally stepped on something and nearly slipped, but fortunately, Miyako was quick to catch him, keeping him safe. After school, Izumi told Miyako that he had library duty the next day. Knowing this, Miyako said she would work harder to cover for Izumi's duties at the cafe. She also asked him to be careful not to get buried under books while on duty. When Izumi arrived at the library, he met Kamiya, who also happened to be on duty there. Kamiya Izumi had known since last year. Kamiya was the ace of the volleyball team, beautiful and friendly. She was also well-liked by many, including girls. Even though they were in the same grade, Izumi often got nervous when talking to her, but Kamiya's always calm demeanor slowly made him feel more comfortable. But this time, Kamiya's attitude seemed a bit different. She talked more and often brought up Miyako in their conversation. Kamiya seemed really curious about Izumi and Miyako's relationship. She even directly asked Izumi who confessed first and how they got together. Meanwhile, Miyako is staring at the festival lottery board. She was trying to find out who had the same number as Izumi. To Miyako, that number had a special meaning, because the couple with matching numbers would get a special photo opportunity, which was considered a symbol of a true couple. Back in the library, Izumi began to tell Kamiya the story of how he and Miyako got together. He revealed that they had actually known each other since the entrance exams. At last year's festival, they got the same lottery number, but Izumi ended up losing his. Because Miyako really wanted to take a picture together, they had to ask the student council president to make a new number. And that was the moment Izumi gathered the courage to confess his feelings to Miyako. After Izumi finished telling his story, Kamiya asked if he had seen a classic movie that was currently popular. According to Kamiya, the movie was very beautiful, with charming dresses and a touching story, but behind all that, Kamiya felt that the main character in the film was just like her, because the girl in the movie's love story didn't come true. Izumi, who had never seen the movie, could only listen with curiosity. Soon after, Kyo called Kamiya over to talk for a moment. It turned out Miyako wanted to meet Kamiya. The reason was that Kamiya's lottery number matched Izumi's. Miyako politely asked Kamiya to trade with her, giving the reason that the number belonged to someone she really liked. Without a second thought, Kamiya agreed and gave her the number.
For a moment, Miyako felt relieved. But when Kamiya returned to the library, she felt uneasy seeing how friendly she was with Izumi. After their library duty was over, they all went their separate ways. Izumi left with Miyako, while Kamiya walked alone. In class, Kamiya became the center of attention. With her calm demeanor and elegant appearance, she was admired by everyone, both boys and girls. Her presence livened up the class and their cafe's sales increased rapidly. However, behind all that, Kamiya felt uncomfortable. She once again thought about her unrequited love. Kamiya decided to calm down on the school roof. Then Miyako came to meet her to return the lottery number she had asked for. Miyako honestly said that she felt the number wasn't something she should have taken from Kamiya. She said maybe she was the only one who noticed, but seeing her behavior, she felt that Kamiya had fallen for the same person she loved. Kamiya tried to reassure her that she didn't mean to cause trouble or interfere with their relationship. She even said she wouldn't confess her feelings to Izumi. But after saying that, she just broke down. Crying, Kamiya confessed that Izumi's kindness made her feel comfortable whenever she was near him. Because of that, she apologized for not being able to forget her feelings. In response, Miyako tore up the lottery ticket and hugged Kamiya. She said she didn't mean to hurt her. Even though she didn't know anything about her, Miyako was sure that Kamiya was a good person. She sincerely asked Kamiya to cherish her feelings. The last day of the festival coincided with Izumi and Miyako's first anniversary. On this special day, Izumi planned to give Miyako a gift. After finishing their activities with friends, Izumi took Miyako to the park. Arriving at the park, Izumi gave her a gift to commemorate their special moment. Miyako was very happy to receive the gift, but behind her joy, there was a fear haunting her. She didn't want Izumi to distance herself from her one day. Izumi, sensitive to Miyako's feelings, managed to calm her down. He gently reassured her that he would never betray her. That moment made Miyako feel more confident in their relationship. The next day, Izumi has a fever. Inuzuka wasn't surprised to hear the news because Izumi had already asked him that morning to take notes for him in class. Meanwhile, Miyako was not informed at all about Izumi's condition. This made her a little annoyed and jealous of Inuzuka. After school, Miyako was suddenly friendly to Inuzuka. She even wanted to accompany him when he visited Izumi's house. Kyo, not wanting to miss this moment, asked Yu to follow them and report back to her. When choosing food for Izumi, Miyako unconsciously called Inuzuka Big Brother. Realizing this, Miyako's face turned red with embarrassment. After they finished shopping, Yu approached them. Based on her observations, Yu stated that she understood Miyako's feelings. According to her, Miyako might have an older brother and unconsciously saw a brotherly figure in Inuzuka. In other words, she just wanted to be doted on by him. The next day, Yui also got sick. This made Kyo and Miyako worry that she wouldn't be able to attend the sports festival. While walking around a shopping center, they happened to see Kamiya by herself. Without a second thought, Kyo immediately went over and invited her to hang out with them. Kamiya tried a claw machine but didn't get anything. In contrast, Miyako managed to win many prizes in just one try. Kamiya was not only impressed by her skill, but also because Miyako won all those prizes just for her. On the other hand, Miyako admired Kamiya for always responding to her so gently. From a distance, Kyo felt that Kamiya seemed very close with Miyako. This surprised her, as Kamiya had always been known as a loner who rarely hung out with others. After that, they continued to a basketball court, but just as they were about to play, a strange girl forbade them from using the court. But when they were about to go elsewhere, the girl challenged them to a game of basketball. Kamiya and Miyako accepted the challenge. As star players of the school, neither of them would back down easily. As soon as the match started, Kamiya quickly stole the ball and scored in a short time. Miyako also showed equally impressive skills. Thanks to their incredible teamwork, they won decisively without giving their opponent a chance to attack. After the match, they took a photo together and then went home.
On the way home, Kyo talked with Kamiya. She said that Kamiya had changed a lot. According to Kyo, Kamiya used to rarely smile and looked like she was carrying a heavy burden, but now she seemed much more cheerful. Kamiya couldn't yet explain the reason behind the change, but she said that someone had asked her to keep cherishing her feelings, no matter how much pain or exhaustion she felt because of them. After the cultural festival, the students prepared for the sports festival. Izumi and Yui weren't interested in participating in major competitions, but when the lots were drawn, they were chosen for the mixed relay race. Meanwhile, Miyako deliberately traded her spot so she could be in the same race as Izumi. Inuzuka and Kyo assumed the race would be fun, so they volunteered to participate in the relay as well. After the teams were formed, they immediately started practicing on the field. Although Izumi and Yui admitted they weren't good at running, Kyo was very enthusiastic and wanted to win. During practice, Kyo ran fast, while Yui was slow due to her short stride. Izumi, on the other hand, fell while trying to take the baton, his one and only skill being a professional liability. Despite that, they were confident they could compete as long as their baton passes were smooth.
In the afternoon, Inuzuka and the others had to leave for other practice, while Izumi and Yui continued training until evening. When race day came, Yui seemed lethargic and completely unenthusiastic. Seeing this, Miyako invited her to go support the other competitions. In the flag capturing game, Inuzuka's team ended up losing, but in the ball toss game, Yui surprisingly managed to get second place. Next up was the relay race. When the race began, Kyo ran with all her might, and with her speed, she immediately took first place. But when the baton was passed to Yui, their team fell behind. Even though she had practiced, her stamina wasn't enough to maintain the team's position. The same thing happened with Izumi. Even though he didn't fall, his running was very slow and it was hard to catch up to the opponents. On top of that, Izumi's bad luck kicked in when his shoe fell off during the race. Is this a relay race or an audition for the circus? Still, Izumi didn't give up. In a desperate situation, he still believed that Miyako could handle it. When the baton was passed to Miyako, all eyes were on her. In a short time, Miyako overtook the other runners one by one with incredible speed. In fact, the longer she ran, the faster she got. Seeing this, Inuzuka thought that he couldn't lose. Because Miyako had closed the gap, Inuzuka had to fight hard not to waste her effort. Full of spirit, Inuzuka and his team finally managed to secure the victory. Yui was very proud of her friends. She never expected that they could cover for her weakness. Meanwhile, Izumi immediately hugged Miyako and showered her with praise for her success. Back in middle school, Izumi was once late for an exam. The reason was that all the alarms in his house broke and he was hit by a bicycle. Because he was often injured, he rarely participated in gym class. Despite this, his friends always hung out with him without fear of catching his bad luck. Then one day after school, a large doll suddenly fell on his friend. This incident made Izumi think it was all his fault. After that, he prayed earnestly for a hero to appear and help him. Meanwhile, Miyako was out shopping with her brother. Izumi had asked her on a date, so Miyako wanted to buy a suitable outfit for it. However, when choosing clothes, she was confused and didn't know what to pick. Being so overwhelmed, she eventually decided not to buy anything. When she returned to her brother, Miyako saw him being hit on by two women. Seeing her brother struggling, Miyako immediately pulled him away, holding his hand. That way, the women gave up, thinking they were a couple. Miyako's brother wasn't good at dealing with new people, but being saved by his little sister just made him even more embarrassed. In the past, Miyako and her brother were members of a karate dojo. Although not as skilled as her brother, Miyako's abilities were already superior to others her age. At school, Miyako always protected her friends. If her friends were bullied, she would always stand up for them, even if her opponents were boys. During sparring matches with her brother, Miyako often got frustrated because he always defeated her. After practice, her brother revealed that he intended to quit karate. Because of that, he advised her to think about what she really wanted to do. At her school, a friend lent her a romance comic. After reading it, Miyako began to feel an urge to learn more about love. Even so, she continued to excel in karate. But after winning a championship, she decided to quit because she wanted to focus on romance. Miyako wanted to be a beautiful woman and fall in love with a handsome, kind man. From that moment on, Miyako started paying attention to her appearance. She tried dieting and chose more feminine clothes.
During the high school entrance exams, she met Izumi. At that time, Izumi was in trouble because his exam ticket got stuck in a tree. At that height, Miyako could still climb it, but this made her feel self-conscious and afraid of being seen as a weird girl. It turned out Izumi didn't see her that way at all. Instead, he was incredibly grateful, smiling sincerely at her. After a long time, Izumi and Miyako finally went on a date again. This date felt special because they could be alone together until the evening. The place they visited was an amusement park. Besides the rides, they could also pick out special accessories and unique outfits there. The first ride they went on was Sleeping Beauty's World, a new ride that was always crowded. It was so popular that Izumi and Mako had to wait in line for 90 minutes. After the 90-minute wait, they finally got on the ride. The duration of the ride was slower than Izumi expected. There was a fragrant aroma and beautiful, calming music playing. All of it made Izumi drowsy, and he eventually fell asleep. Amazing. He takes a girl on a date just to fall asleep. The Boyfriend of the Year award goes to not him. Inspired by the fairy tale, Mako intended to use the opportunity to kiss Izumi, but she couldn't because the ride had ended.
After that, they ran to various places, holding hands. That evening, Izumi and Mako ran into a problem. They couldn't eat as planned because their reserved table had been given to another customer. Although not according to plan, they were lucky because the staff immediately replaced it with a new table in a more luxurious area. Being in such a classy place made them both feel nervous, but when the food was served, their mood changed quickly. Izumi looked so enthusiastic that his eyes sparkled like a little kid's. On that occasion, Mako said that everything looked more beautiful when she was with Izumi. In response, Izumi also said that Mako was the most beautiful thing in his eyes. And then, they both got embarrassed because a waiter had overheard them. Since there was still time, Mako wanted to do something she saw in a commercial, but Izumi didn't understand what she meant. A little disappointed, Mako suggested they go somewhere they could talk quietly. While on the gondola ride, Izumi suddenly understood what Mako had wanted earlier. After loading for what felt like a century, his brain, which runs on a Pentium 2, finally connected the dots. Remembering the scene from the commercial, he figured Mako wanted to kiss him. Because the atmosphere was so nice, Izumi intended to take a picture together. But then, the power suddenly went out, plunging them into darkness. In that moment, Izumi gathered his courage and kissed Mako. The moment made Mako incredibly happy. She felt like she was in a dream and didn't want to wake up. The next day, they went to school as usual. But because they were acting so differently, their friends started to suspect that something finally happened. Thanks for watching. This is Dem Recaps. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.